Mass Movement in the spotlight.
All right, tonight we are very lucky to be joined by Randy Jackson and Kimberley Locke. How you guys doing?
We're chilling, man. We're hanging out with you, man. Joe, come on, this is the place to be with you, man.
It is a lot of fun having you guys here because American Idol is such a big part of just life in general now. I've always wanted to ask you, Randy, because it's so fun. You have this amazing history, and there's all these kids that are just coming up, and this is their first real thing. And when you give them advice, there's a lot of times they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, they have no idea about Journey, Mariah Carey, and all these things you've done in your past. Just give me like a brief little history of some of the things you've done.
Well, look, I got a long history. I've been in this business 25 years, so blessed and so fortunate to work with some of the greats, But it's funny, you're right. When people look at us, they go like, what are they talking about? And I think half of the time they don't even listen to us. But what's funny about it is that we're actually giving them really sound advice, because you can't get this anywhere from professionals that have been in the industry 25 years at the top of the game. So it's actually really a gift for these kids. I think it's hard for them to absorb because so much is happening so fast. You got a ton of people in the audience. You got 25, 30 million people at home watching. The pressure, you got so many voices in your head, your family, your friends, your whatever. But I've worked with, a lot of the rock greats, with the Bon Jovi boys, the Journey boys for a long time, Springsteen, Dylan, Madonna, NSYNC. It's what I did, it's what I do, my life is music, so it's what happens, And
then Kimberley, when you were up on that stage, did you feel that way? Were you just, when Randy was talking, you just heard Charlie Brown's Teacher?
Wah, 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 wah. It's interesting that Randy says that, because I think that does happen. I think that, listen, we're just kids from the block, and all of a sudden we're presented with this amazing opportunity, and there's so much noise going on that we can't really hear, because, it got to a point to where I finally started shutting my phone off before I went on stage, because as soon as I came off, if something happened that my people at home didn't like, my church people mainly, blowing up my phone. Why'd you do that? Why'd you wear this? And I was like, really? And I think that a lot of people at home think that it's like a one-on-one session with Simon, Randy, and Paula, but it's really not. We got a lot of noise going on, and we have that one moment where they're directly speaking to us. And I think Randy's right. I think that the majority of the time we don't hear them. You literally have to stand there and say, okay, I need to shut everything off so I can listen. But it's so hard to do. It's really difficult to do. And you don't really realize it until you go back and watch the show. And by then, hell, it's too late.
And then speaking of the show, I got to get some gossip from you, Randy. What's going on? Is Simon going to return? Are you going to return? I know your contract's up soon. It seems like the show is evolving a lot, and there could be some new things coming for us.
Simon's definitely gone after this season. He's bringing over X Factor in fall of 2011, I think. So, yeah, I'm still there for a minute. My contract still is some time left on it, me and Ryan. So, listen, the show's evolving and changing, as you can tell by the contestant pool this year. You got kids that have probably never would have really auditioned for Idol. Somebody was saying, oh my God, there's so many people playing the damn guitar. Well, you know what? Listen.
Damn them for having talent.
Yeah, exactly. So, you got the alternative kid. You got, we're living in a time now that the singer-songwriter thing is flourishing. Jason Mraz, When I'm Yours, probably had one of the biggest songs in the world in the last 5 years. The show's ever evolving and changing. Ellen's doing her thing. She's finding her place in the whole panel thing. So it's all good, man. It's good.
Well, we've got more good to talk to you about, but we need to take a quick break. So more with Randy Jackson and Kimberley Locke coming up right after this.
Join the movement now at massmovementradio.com.